I'm a professional wrestler. Doing that means I get slammed and thrown around.
On a rough landing for Bryan.
I've had 13 documented concussions. The margin for error is very slim. The difference between a punch that barely touches somebody and a punch that's just an inch off to this side, that's the difference between being okay, not okay.
My husband got a concussion. He didn't want to miss the tour. The more shows you work, the more money you make. We got paid by each show. We never had protocols. We could just easily say we're feeling fine and go out there and keep wrestling when we have a concussion.
They rolled me into the ring. I finished the match and then wrestled again the next night and then wrestled again the next night. And that was just what you did. WWE, one of the first things that they do is they do the impact testing. You know, they get a baseline for where your brain function is. Okay, before you could return to play, you had to get your impact test back to the baseline. And at that point, I'd also had post-concussion seizures. I lied about my concussion history.
It was so interesting to understand the brain as an athlete. And every time he got a concussion and his brain would swell, he would get a mini seizure. And it happened in front of me one time.
The reason I lied about the seizures is because I knew there was a chance that they'd tell me I couldn't do it anymore.
It's serious. And your health is so important to me.
This is the only real adult form of work I've ever known. To me, the most courageous thing, knowing that it could be the end and that they weren't going to let me wrestle anymore, was telling them about the seizures. And then that's when I was forced to retire.
That gives me goosebumps because it's true. Like the day he did admit it, he knew the consequences that were going to come with it. He was forced to retire and they said he would never be able to wrestle again. Anyone would have thrown in the towel and been like, okay, this chapter is done in my life and I'm moving on to the next.
There's still like a small chance that that test was an anomaly, right?
Bryan, I give you a 1% chance.
But there could be a chance that it's wrong, and I want to be able to.
Do you really feel that there's a chance that it could be wrong?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm coming back, but if there's a chance.
I was seeing some of the best neurologists in the country who were clearing me to wrestle.
He read so many books. He educated himself. He wanted to know every little part of why he was feeling a certain way. Like, was it all coming from brain? He was determined. And 3 years after going to so many doctors across the United States, he was able to get back into that ring. So when they say courageous, my husband is very courageous.
The biggest obstacle actually to me getting cleared to going back to wrestling wasn't the state of my brain. It was the fact that they couldn't trust me because I had lied about previous concussions and I had lied about the seizures. It must have happened. She must have fallen or something. Sweet girl, do you need a hug? Did you bump your head? We're very protective with heads in our household. So even bumps, we just make sure.
The Brain Injury Alliance is so important because they're helping educate people. They're helping you understand when brain injuries happen and what to do and all the different situations you can go through with your brain and how it could immediately change your life. But what you can do after that is what will really change your life.